picture that we are streaming. $41.8875 on that ES currently. $41.8875 on that ES currently. Okay, let's do this. Okay, guys, what you see on my screen, it is a chart of the E-mini for this morning. Let me close down here, not attach this, so you have more real estate. And let's look at the markets today. We have a very nice opening this morning. Let me go back to some of you guys, I'll go answer those questions later. Those of you who are sending me on the chats. Let's go over first the setup that we have this morning for the EMI. Let's look at everything that we have on oil. What is it that we're looking for? Give me 1 second right now. I'm trying to get this as quickly as I can. Okay, let's go here and pictures and downloads. I'm gonna put it right now, guys, on the screen so that you guys can see that we are live. Okay, so 88 on the ES. Now we are live, and you see how overnight I'll give you something really quick. This morning I was talking about the 4202s, 4205 and 4210 as targets. We stopped right at 4202.25, 4200. So let me open this up for you to see what's going on. Right, we just printed a poor low on the CND period, and now we have some move below the 4190. Okay, let me go back to my interactive broker a little bit here and look at my account. So look where are we heading currently, right? Currently, we are coming down to the point of control from overnight. Right, very mechanical how we are coming to this level, and see how these guys are buying that VPOC. We have two things. We have the VPOC from overnight, which is the volume point of control. For those of you who are new to the room, this is the volume point of control where most business was conducted overnight. And then this one that you see here, this is the time price opportunity point of control, the TPO that we call on market profile. Now, we have seen some selling, but it's very organized selling. Still, the market is positive by about 15 points. I said it last night when we were somewhere in the 40, during Globex last night. I told you guys to be looking out for that once we were on those 87s. I think the moment Globex opened, took a couple of longs. My first long was this 87 breakout. This was the first long that I took. I did get out somewhere on the 40.93s and 92s, I believe, on that trade. But then I waited, and I waited most of the night. I placed a couple of orders at 84. My next long was this 84 back to the 92 again. Now, this morning, as we were coming into the market, what I was paying attention to a lot was this point of control. This is what I was paying attention this morning to see if they were going to buy it, right? Which they just did right now, right? They are like one tick above it currently. Very, very mechanical. Let me go back to the point of control here, and let's look at it. You can see clearly 90s is holding, this 89, excuse me, is holding. Now, the low for the initial balance is 41.90. So we did have this balance area, excuse me, the initial balance, which is the first hour of trading, between 41.90 and 42.02, which is a wide range. Is 12 points about. Is not. It is a wide range, and what happens is when you get to these wide ranges, is usually you will have one of those days where you're gonna get some extension out of it. I would expect that when you get these wide ranges, right, you start breaking out of them, you will get some type of extension during the D period. So as of right now, we are stopping very mechanical at the point of control from overnight. Okay, very, very mechanical. So my first trade, if I were to go long this market, is for me to hold, let me go back here to the ES, is for me to hold, and I have an order. If you look at my screen, I have an order to go long. Let me move this order a little bit up to 87. I have an order to go long. Then the 80 originally was on the 84s because I wanted it to take again the 84s on this trade. But what I'm going to do now is wait for these 89 to come back, right? To come back into play. This 89, let me see if I can grab it. Currently it's at 91.25. Take two lots in there and see if we are going to move back up, back to the point of control around the 95. The trade would be not to drop below the point of control or the VPOC. So your stop should be right around 86. If you go along these 88s, look for a stop around 86 and then take it back to the point of control or the open. These are the two targets I'm going to be looking for, 41.98, 41.95. It looks exhausted, the market at this point, so let it sit down. If you look, there is not a lot of volume. One of the things that I was paying attention a lot today is volume. I know that Dalton does not look at volume as much. I do. I believe it's important for us to look at the volume. What is interesting is that so far they shut off this profile. Let me split it. Only one lot. When I see things like these guys, one lot traded right at 41.88. Super mechanical, right? Right from there, they start moving back up. This was those of you who trade very mechanical. I missed this trade. My trade was right at 84. I was looking for this value area low from overnight to start looking longs. Very mechanical what they did right here. Let's see if it's going to hold this 88. So if it comes back to it, I might take another trade. When it comes to wow, let me take a look at Twitter right now. They are dropping like a rock. Give me 1 second. Someone just told me about Twitter, and yeah, $53, dropping about $3 today. So here move. Look at how the selling accelerated right on that 84, 88. Excuse me. They came back to it. That's why I told you this was really tricky. That one contract that was traded there at 88. Now look where we went through, right? Right to the VPOC, right? Right to the VPOC and then back up again. Really mechanical. So these, once you start seeing that throughout the day, you know these guys are going to be trading those levels, and you have to be ready just to pull the trigger on them. So Now Nasdaq starts to drop a lot, and I think that's what's happening. The NQs are falling, and I don't see no way that they are stopping right now. We have a 13,806 on the NQs right now, and we haven't seen that for the E-mini and the ES. So the ones that are leading lower right now is this Nasdaq, and for that reason, I believe everything else is just coming down the line. I see the Tesla's back below 700s. Neo is the only one positive on that. EV vehicles. LI is negative. Tesla is negative about $20. Amazon is negative. If you look at Amazon, they are really getting off. Now the yields. One of the things that we always pay attention here in the room are the yields, and the yields have not moved a lot today. So this is just liquidation on the first day of trading. We might see these again tomorrow. The first days of May are usually like this, when you have these nice pops in the morning, and then throughout the day you start seeing these drops in the market where they just liquidating positions from April. It will be really interesting. I mean, so far, if you look at the yields, we are in a pretty good shape. I mean, yields this morning were around 162. We came down to that one below 160, and now we're on the way back up on these yields, back at 160. It is interesting if I start seeing these yields pick up, because if these yields really start going above the 162, 165, then definitely NQ will roll over the hardest, right? There is a note from Wells Fargo posted yesterday about the liquidation that is about to happen for the tech stocks this month of May, and they're probably going to move back into the cyclical stocks, industrials, and things like that. So this is what the yields are looking like this morning. Now let's take a look at the dollar index. Dollar index down a little bit, not a lot. This helped propel the oil. I mean, the oil was such a great trade at $63 even last night. I couldn't load on that. I had so many positions open on my other account. But man, that trade on oil was really, really sweet. I'll go over that. Let's see if we can capture some ticks before the end of the day. The 63.50 still looks in place. Like we might come down to that 63.50, but we're probably going to have to wait it out a little bit. In the meantime, guys, NQ is not stopping. Nasdaq is just dropping now below 13,800 for that NQ. So pay close attention to that. Apple, in the meantime, let me look at the Apple. I was long Apple. I took off some of the apples at 33. We were as high as $34, 134, and now it's only 132 for that Apple trade. I'm out already of that. I'm long FNGU, but this morning the trade was to go probably long these TQQs. I'll talk about those in a minute about those TQQs. In the meantime, now we see some kind of responsive buying here on the NQ on the 30,800s. Dow Jones strong. Dow Jones really, really strong. It looks like they're not giving up those gains above the 34,000 mark. And now we see the E-mini trying to hold on these 87, 86 levels. Let me go back and put my charts on. And you see now we are out of the initial balance, right? We are out of it. That's the initial balance. Like I said, once we break out of that balance, we can start getting some range extension. Currently, this range extension is very small. It's only about 4 points. Nonetheless, if we go back inside of this initial balance, good chance is we are probably going to retest and then come back up to that 94. It's very quiet. I was expecting this morning to be a little bit more action on the ES, potentially go to back to this 2000. But you see since early morning, right, we hit 930. The moment we hit 930, the market just started rolling over, right? We were really good on these 4200s, but very quiet as well. And now you start seeing these new lower highs printing on this E-mini. This tells me we might be heading to that 84, which is where my order is originally waiting on the longs. I'm looking at the 41.84s on that E-mini trade. Any trade here is more like a scalp of 3 points. I like to hold on at least for 6 points on my trades. But if we were to take this trade, we'll be doing the same thing we did on Friday morning. Friday morning, we were scalping it for 3-4 points, 3-4 points. Let's see what the reaction is going to be at VWAP or the 92. And we'll probably start giving ourselves a short here with a tight stop. Right? I would probably look into play the same game they are playing, and that is to short the 90s and take me back down all the way to the 86. Captured about 6 points on that. Let's see how we react. So far, we are holding this 86, which is the VPOC from overnight. I'm really impressed that we came to the VPOC to the T, and now we are holding the volume point of control. Very interesting. I mean, it cannot get more mechanical than these guys. I mean, we came right to it, right to it. So this morning I was looking for a couple of things, and I think I got them. Now it's just about to place your orders. As we come up to this 92, I'm probably gonna be starting to short this E-mini, looking for a move down to that 86 again and capture those 6 points. Okay. Currently 89, like I said, it's really quiet. Halfback from overnight is that 91. If you look, that is the halfback from overnight. This is 91 even for halfback. Halfback for the ES is 95, which is 2 ticks above the point of control from this morning. Developing point of control so far. We have a nice move out of this balance area that we've been talking about on the E-mini. Look at the E-mini, how it's trying to break out, right, out of this balance. If you look, if you put together the last 5 days, and I'll go into another chart that I have for you guys, look how we are away from the balance that we've been building above this 41.72 level for the E-mini, right? We are right above it, and we broke out this morning. So my expectations are for value to still be up here, trying to break out of value and build some value on the way up for us to go back to the 42.10, 42.25. That is the trade to be looking for. So pay close attention to what's going on in the markets. Always look at where you are. If we were to start accepting prices here, what do I mean by here? Below this 41.88, well, remember, value has been accepted all the way between this 41.80 and 41.72, right? So it's about 8 points. It's not a lot, but that's where the value has been accepted over the past week. Now, let me show you a weekly composite that I have on the E-mini for you to see clearly what's going on here. Look where we were this morning. This is a 5-minute, I believe, yeah, this is a 5-minute chart that I have compiled for us. And this is nothing more than a bar chart. But what I have here is the composite volume, right? And look at this morning, how this volume, we came almost close to that peak this morning on the 42.05. That's why my target originally was the 42.05, 42.10 to peak right here and go to the 42.10 in the market this morning. I posted all those levels last night. See where we are heading back down, right? As the market is dropping now, the move will be to come back to this 41.80. Now, that is currently my weekly point of control, just adding up the volume on the past 5 days. This is only 5 days for the volume on the E-mini, and you see this prominent, really prominent volume here at the 41.81. So my first trade originally was, like I said early, start looking at this 41.84 that you see here on the screen, this peak right here. Take your first long here, right? 41.84. If you continue to drop to the 41.81, you will add right here because that's where they potentially will go and then start bouncing back to those 90s. So my trade, that was the original trade idea on it. currently, like you see clearly, we are, I mean, right at the previous day high. I mean, this is the range from the previous day high. They are trying to go back inside the previous day range high. If they go back inside this range, my only concern is we're gonna start building value here between the 80 and the 72. That's my only concern for the longs, and I have to be ready both ways, right? If I take long like this 84, if I take my long trade here, my move is to not let them come back against me too much, because we can go back all the way to 70 or those 68s, which were the lows from Friday, okay? From Friday. So far looking good. I like the action of this morning. I don't see crazy selling. Very organized, very mechanical. I mean, it's kind of crazy how this previous low goes exactly to the volume point of control from overnight. But it is what it is, and you have to be ready for that. When it comes to my, let me see. Yeah, we're out of it. So this is my delta profile that I keep for my DOM, and you see very light volume. I don't see, let me see the time and sales. I do have my time and sales. I was looking at it. Where are you? There they are. And oh, they are on my other screen. Let's put the time and sales on this level. Right, there you go. There you have it. And let's see. I will do only greater than 50 for you to see what's going on. And this is what I want to see. What is happening on this 88? I want to see only 50 volume, and how many of those are hitting the tape currently. And you look, these what, 87s, 86, they are pulling out. The bid pull about 500 here. Let's see, are they gonna pull some more on the 88s? NQs, guys, just stopped right now. The NQ just stopped at the 13,800. Unbelievable. They just stopped right there, and now we see the same thing on the E-mini. E-mini just holding for dear life here, while the Dow Jones is just turning around from the 14,050 back to the 34,100. Let's go back to my Apple trade and FNGU. I have one trade on FNGU here. I only have a small one. I'm looking at Amazon. I'm liking Amazon here below the 3,400 bucks. Near the $3,400, excuse me. Baba up a lot. Baidu down only $1. My SMH and my SOXL, just a tiny move there. Let me look at the Tilray. Give me 1 second. Tilray looking good. Take two looking okay. What is the next one? I have a DKNG positive, which is great. Finally, it's paying off on that call spread that I have. I'm gonna go over that really quick. Microsoft not moving, guys. 25 cents. Okay. So let's go back to the E-mini for a minute. Printing the 86. Let's see what the NQ again, guys, just made another drop. And I believe the E-mini is just following that right now. So NQ just dropped, and there goes the ES with it. So now you see the reference of play for today. Let's go back to that trader for a minute, and let me place an order here on that Baidu around the 200 bucks. I want to go long. I'm looking at the 207 Baidu long currently. I'll go over the stocks really quick. Want to see this market, what's going on the E-mini. Look where we are heading, 41.85. So let me go back to, so it looks like they want to print 41.85 for this E-mini. Once we drop this 41.96, it was game over, and we are about to grab those 41.85s on this E-mini. Below there, okay, if you see what we have on the screen is 41.80, which is, this is my main concern on taking any long trades here on this 84. My original entry was to go along with these guys, right? I was waiting and waiting and waiting most of the morning for the 41.84 or to short this 92. We barely got into 89, so my short was not executed. So this 92 short to the 86, not bad, but I am a little concerned here coming to this 85. We have some stops. We might run to the 83 and then back to those 80s for the E-mini. And it's very early on the day, right? But this range, the break of that initial balance, that's going to give us always the range extension, and we're just grabbing it, right? D period, not able to go back inside the initial balance. So that was the signal to go short on that 92. Did I close that order on my, hold on, I have one order. Did I cancel? Yes, I did cancel that order. Good, good, I canceled that order. And NQ is not stopping. Now again, below that 84. I mean, yes, below the 13,800. Let me go back to my trades here. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this alone for a minute. UVXY, you guys are asking me about UVXY. Hold on. UVXY, I saw it going down this morning in the market. Yeah, so UVXY has nothing. UVXY is still at 450, same place where we open. The move from Friday, you guys recall, I was selling those calls on $5. They are like 2 cents right now. Right? We sold the night for 15 cents. Now they are about 2 cents on that trade. So let's go back to E-mini holding this 86. Printed just a tiny bit below that volume point of control. Coming to the value area low from overnight. And now, this E-mini, okay, look at the previous day settle and look at the book map. You see how important it is when you start getting market generated information from the market profile, right? We have this 85 and we have the book map showing us this 85 as well. But if you look at the previous day settle, which is Friday, we settled right on the 41.81, and this is where the book map is showing you how they are waiting right at the level, right at the 41.80s. I'm a little worried about us start to get some value here develop inside this value area because we can come back to that 81 and stop, which will be great, right? Come back to this 81. But I don't want them to go back inside this value area from Friday because now you have these 10 points going against you. My trade still to go long if I see that 84, 81 is to start to go long to take us back to these 90s. So that's about 10 points that I'll be looking to take. So far, one time framing lower since C period. We have not stopped. B period was kind of crazy because the B period did not give us any signal. As a matter of fact, once I start seeing things like this, let me split the profile to explain you something, is once I see the A and B period range, right, and you see B period inside of A period, what you want to do is wait for the market to give you the range extension. And B period kind of gave me a hint just to wait for the market. I did not execute any trade. Oops, this is too big. I did not execute any trade at that point because I was waiting for direction. And look at the B period, right? B period actually completely inside of A. So my goal was to just wait for the breakout. And even when C period came along, right? C period all it did was to give us the poor low. So as we were opening the room, I was mentioning the fact that we did have a poor low and we were going to wait for the breakout. So once we broke that 90 from the 92s, we haven't been able to push against, I mean, to push above this 92 at all. And now you see us coming down mechanically to these two levels, which are the point of control and the volume point of control. So it's interesting to see these type of moves. Now look what they did. They grabbed those 85s. Well, they did not conduct business on 85. They did not. Let me rephrase that. They did not. All they did was came like one tick above it, and they are still here. So these guys are not done, and these guys are not done. The 4180 is still there, and 4185 are still there as well. So they did not conduct business here yet, and looking like they want to go back up on these 92s. Let me put my profile back. All right. Another poor low. Look at what happened. Now we have another poor structure on D and E. Right. We have another poor structure right there. And wow, these guys are really playing games today. Let me take a look at the other markets. Strong YM. It looks like everybody's pushing back into these industrials names for today. I'm contemplating this move back into my GameStops and Coinbase. I'll talk a little bit about that. The Pepsi was a great trade this morning. DKNG positive, like I told you. But look at this move out of this 85.50, trying to come back above these 90s. Look at this move, guys. Okay, so my trade will be to start shorting this 92. Let's go put it. I'll place a short on 92 and a tight stop. I don't want them to go below, I mean above, excuse me, the current VWAP, which is around 41.94. Let me look at the VWAP in here. Midpoint is 94. So okay, so halfback is about 41.94. So any shorts that I take from these 92, I want to grab it back to 85, which is about 7 points. We'll see if that's going to happen. In the meantime, hold on, because I can see a small trade here happening with my TQQs. Apple's trying to come back. Let me go back to my TQQ trade here, because this can be a nice trade. If the Nasdaq start to push up a little bit more, let me look at my other positions. FNGU is trying to come back. Not much, but they're trying to come back. All right, they are pushing strong here on these 92s. Let's see. Well, they filled my order, short the 92, and I'll place a stop, like I said, around the 94, a hard stop on the E-mini. See if this is going to come back to that 85 level, okay? If they don't, we might scalp it for like maybe 2 or 3 points. If they stop right at 88, we get out and we start getting those 3 points. I'll put a bite here and I put a stop right here at 94. Don't want to give it too much room. If I can capture $200 back and forth, we'll capture those $200, $200 or $300 on this trade. Okay, don't want to play too much and give it too much wiggly room, because we see a strong move out of the 41, guys. So big move out of this 85 level. So give me 1 second right now. Give me 1 second. 1 second, right, guys? 1 second. Hello, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. So what do we have right now? 92 and a quarter. Well, 92.50 right now. Let's see if this is going to come back down to the 90s again, 89s. Let's look at the profile. They push right to the volume, right to the point of control, developing point of control, trying to push above it. Let's see if these guys are really going to have any legs to go back up to those 97s, which is the volume point of control. What I'll be looking for is another reversal down to the 89s, first 3 points to capture, and then back to the 86 for the Emini trade. Let's look at the NQs. Well, look at the NQs. The NQs are trying back into this 800, and I guess that's what's pushing this market for the E-mini. Okay. So E-mini, guys, in the meantime, is going to push against with it. So one thing I can do is not to be too aggressive with this trade, and wait out for maybe a couple of points back to the 90 and then get out of the trade on this one that we have currently short, those 92s. Okay, this 85, let me see what we have to the top, if there is anything meaningful. I see 95 to the top, pushing a little bit, but currently it's working. We still have a couple of points to go. Not bad. Let me get this point here, and because I see this 95 coming up, and that can give me a better entry, right? This 95. So let me place an order to go short this 95 again if this happens. There you go. So now let me move this a little bit down, and this one back to the 97. Come on, this one to the 97. There. Oh, look at this. Hold on, guys. They short. Oh, man. I short the 90.75 by mistake. Did I? Yes, they fill my order 90.75 instead of my 95. So let me get rid of this. I just fat fingered this 90.75 short. I think they might go against me really quick. I'll see if I can break even on it. This was a fat, one of those fat finger trades that I did this morning, just now. So let's see if it's gonna work. At least to break even, can probably get out of it. Oh, don't lose more than 1 point. I know that this was a mistake. Still the 92 is my probably stop, just to get the hell out of the trade. I'm short currently 90.75, so let's see if I can get the hell out right now at break even. Come on. It's not gonna give me that. Seriously. All right. I'll lose 1 tick. This is a fat finger. I'll wait for the 95. Short. Come on. So we grabbed the 92, only 1 point, because I was looking for this 95 that you see here in the markets, right? This 95 is what I'm looking for to as a target on the way up, right? On the way up. So, but again, the move is to grab it all the way down to the 85 trade. So if I were to start looking for scalps, that's the way I will scalp this trade, is to look for the moves for them to come to this 93 level 95 and start look to roll over. Nasdaq holding those 800, but not by a lot. Let me tell you, it's not a lot that you see so far on that trade. So let's go back to the E-mini. So they did get me out. Did they get me out? Hold on. Let me go back here. Oh yeah, they did get me out of the trade. Now I have the sales on the 76. I have no idea what the hell or how did I fat finger that trade. But it happens. It happens. No clue. I guess that was my previous order. Oh, you know what? Yes. So I have it as a single. My bad, guys. Instead of having it as a bracket, I had it as a single. So let me put my 6 points of profits and maybe 2 points only on my risk. And let me cancel this 95 and put it back up. Let's see if they're gonna move down. What are we doing? 90, 91. So what I'm looking for is for them to start pushing it right now. Push it, go to this 93, and boom, go to 95, and we start looking for that trade. Off that 86, man, Jesus, I mean, that 86 played out really well. I should not move my order below that 80. I am still, these guys are here. I mean, nothing wrong. We might come back to that 86 again throughout the day, and 85. So what I'm looking for is for the market to pull back to those 90s, 92s, 95, and start giving us the move back to the 85 level. Not very clear at this point, but we are inside. I like to play always the edges, okay, on that Emini trade. But this kind of got me. This was a super mechanical trade on that 86. My 84, I moved that 84. I actually got rid of that 84. So let's go back here and start looking at the price action. All right, let's see. What is my Apple on my other account? I have a order to go long 32s. What are we printing right now on Apple? FNGU down $1. Not bad. 3260s. Ah, man, 3260s. TQQ, same place, 106.39. So no decision on this so far. So selling just a tiny bit above my VWAP. Place an order to look for this VWAP short, right? 95, just a tiny bit above it in case they run through. Look how they're trying to print those 92s now, right? And now 91's now being a small support. So that's exactly what I was looking for that trade. All right, let's come back to it. Let's see if we're gonna grab it. What is the 95? 95s, they are there. They are there, just a tiny bit. Right, a little bit above the VWAP. That's where they are at. Not a lot. Okay, let's go back to the stocks. I'm gonna leave the trade on, guys. We haven't talked about the stocks because the move was on the E-mini. Let's talk about oil before I go to the stocks. So oil this morning, man, what a freaking miss that's my miss this morning. Oil, you guys recall how we have this gap, right? This gap from last week, right? Coming into Friday, we gap down. And I told you guys, please mark it in your charts, because we were going to be hitting that and getting a repair. So overnight, I missed this thing twice, and I missed it because I was looking for the 6260s levels, and they only gave me 6290. What I was looking for the 6260, the reason behind that is because of that value area. Oops, excuse me. This value area high from the breakout, we did have a pretty nice chunk on the book map, and my trade was to go long here right at around that 6260. Well, overnight they only gave me 6290, and as we opened this morning, we opened right at the top of this gap that was not repaired completely. You guys recall, this has not been repaired completely on the regular trading hours. And look at what happened when we opened this morning. I mean, oil opened, went low to 63.12, but they did not repair again that gap. So that still has not been repaired completely. But then what they did is they just run it through the first half an hour. And let me expand this thing. First hour of trading, they repair. Look at that repair, guys. They repair the gap from Friday. So this gap has now been repaired. Okay. So I will leave it here for my video for tonight. But very nice. I mean, if you guys grabbed a 63 long, I mean, big kudos to you guys. I did not. I was being too aggressive going long this 62.60. As a matter of fact, I think my order is still sitting there. Where is my order on oil? Let's go back to oil. See, there is my order on oil to go to go long 62.60. It's not bullshit. I mean, I was looking for this long 62.60. And I just went to sleep, placed my order there. I mean, $1,000 stop, $1,000 of profit, and son of a guns. I mean, they left me hanging. All they gave me was the 62. So nothing for me to do. We're seeing now resistance. Let's talk a little bit about the resistance now. Let me cancel this order. And let's talk about the resistance now on oil. Let me get rid of those orders and put this back into the daily chart. Go back to the active trader. And let me get rid of this. You guys don't need this going on. Come on. Look what's happening now, right? On this 65 level, 64.86 from this bar, and now you see this bar back again at the 64.86, having a hard time on the oil so far. I like how the ABC, I believe, is not complete, but they are trying to complete it. I think this ABC can push to this 66, and I was waiting for that 65 move today to go and push back above it. But so far, it's not happening. As a matter of fact, even though today, right, even though today we are trying to push above it, we still have not engulfed the previous high from Friday, right? From Friday. We still haven't go above it. I'll be waiting for that and take the next trade to the $65.50, $66, but nothing there yet. And that kind of surprised me because today, after the repair, we're actually seeing these 64, 66 now being a resistance. And we left so far, we left this poor high. Look at the poor high that we are leaving. We are leaving behind a poor high at 64, 66. We still have a bunch of, well, these singles, they have been repaired. Let me get rid of this because, oh, what did I do? Did I delete the data? Hold on, guys. I believe I deleted the data for a minute. No, I did not. There you go. Sorry. So put it back into perspective. What I'm looking for now that this has been repaired is for them to print back this point, this value and this point of control. And if I were to place a line right here, right now, where are you? There, right? That is the 64.95, I believe. Yeah, 64.85, that volume point of control from Thursday. We stopped, 20 ticks below that thing, and now we are retracing all the way down to the point of control currently. I don't know, once we are back inside this range, guys, inside the initial balance for the day, it's kind of game over to the top. We might need a little more momentum below the 64s. See if they're going to come down to this 64 even, top of the value area, not top of the value area, top of the overnight range, and then bounce from it. That will be a confluence also with our value area low. So start paying close attention to this 64, please. And currently those are singles that we are leaving behind. See if this is going to work. So let me mark those singles for you. So we have singles between 63.95. Let me make sure we see it on the screen. What happened? What happened to my settings? That's not nice. Okay. Center the price labels and make this color for you to see it clearly. There you have it. So those are singles now that we have currently for today on that oil. If we close these singles, do you see that the low of those singles is 64? That 64 is a confluence, right, with our overnight high. So I'll be looking closely and see if we are going to turn around here back at least to those 64.50s level again on oil as we are closing today. I think we are just taking a small break here on the oil, So pay close attention to this move. If you grab the move from the 63s, maybe it's time for you to start taking some profits. Unfortunately, I did not, and I will be. Let me look at my oil book map, see what it looks like. 63.50 this morning. I told you as we were coming into the room. Look at the 63, right? And they are about to close those singles, guys. Look, this is a big drop now on these 64s, and the move is those 63.50 now. We're seeing some demand right here on these 63.50s, and they've been there all morning, by the way. Let me blow it up a little bit. They've been here all morning, these 63.50s for oil. They were nice this morning as we were opening, and they couldn't grab them, right? So now look at them staying here. They are there still, guys, on 63 and the 63.50s. So you have a couple of nice demand zones here on oil. I'm gonna post this in the room later on for the guys in the chat for them to see that. Thank you for that. Hold on. Let me go back to Emini. You guys are saying that Emini is moving. Let me move this out of the way, and let's go back to the Emini. What is the Emini? Printing 88. Okay, printing 8. Did my order get filled by any chance? Did we print 95 as we were? No, it did not. Apparently it did not. What did we print? 93s? No, we print 92s. So we stopped right at 92 again. Let me make it a 1 minute chart. See, what did we do? They went to VWAP. Oh, look at that. So they tagged the VWAP. I was telling you guys the reversal was going to happen there. My order was like 1 point above it in case we did a fake breakout and then the reversal. I hope you guys took the trade. Anyone took that? About 3 points, $300. Not bad on that trade. My trade was still the 95 short, and I was looking for these 90 and 86 as a target. Nothing for me. I'm just going to wait it out. All right. Nothing fancy yet. Nothing fancy on my trading for Emini as of right now. Let me go back to my account. We have a couple of things here going on Baba, and Baidu still at 208. So let's talk about the stocks for a minute. Let's talk about the Apple trade. Some of you guys were asking me, did I close my trade? Yes, I closed my trade. That long 131 from Friday closed at 34, half at 34, and half at 33.60. Right here, 33.60. Did I close at 33.60? Let me take a look at my trade log from Interactive Broker. Yes, 130. Actually, it was 132.75 and 133.90. Those were my two exits out of my Apple. Am I looking to add? Yes. Potentially, I'll be adding some more. But you know what? After reading, and I'm sorry to be so, but after reading this article from Bank of America, kind of weird how they word some of the stuff, but it's making sense today. Let me tell you. I mean, all technology is down today, right? Most of the tech stocks are down big. I mean, you see Amazon down $60, about 1 point, what is it so far? 1.7% today after that blow up earnings, 1.8%. That's at a discount right now. Amazon at a discount at $3,400. You see Netflix again trying to go below $500. The one that is barely positive today is just Google. Okay, but look at Facebook, 322, pushing back again from that 340s or 330s that we printed on Friday, Thursday after earnings. I'm telling you, I'm a little bit wary now of these stocks on the tech stocks. I'll be playing it safe. If you see me taking any trade, will be a day trade. I don't want to be holding it for more than a couple of days on those trades. Digital turbine. Somebody's asking me about digital turbine. What to do at $70? Well, what do we do at $70? I would like to add the earnings were really great on digital turbine, but going back to what I just told you, how they are dumping tech, I'd rather wait for this 67. I have a option trading idea, and that was the 65.60. You guys recall that put credit spread? Let me see how much are they paying for that today. Today is Monday. I do not open the credit spreads on Monday. I open them always on Tuesday or Wednesday morning. And let's go APPS for May. And let me just give you what's going on today. They are paying for the 65.60. They are paying at about $1.20. $1,200 on that trade, guys. All right, it's about $1,200 on the 6560 put credit spread for, let me confirm and send. All right. So there you have it on the screen today. So I don't want to open it today. They are paying about $1.20 for digital turbine. $1.20, about $1,200. This expires May 21st. We have about 20 days to go on that, and more or less about 18 days to go with it. So what am I gonna do tomorrow? If tomorrow I see digital turbine below this $70, somewhere around the $68, these will be worth about $1.50, and I'd rather take $1,500 than take $1,200. So, and my break even will be what, $63? I'll give you a wiggly room on that. Okay, not bad. That will give you a small wiggly room. So that's the next move to take. Let me go to Boeing, because Boeing, let's talk a little bit about Boeing. Boeing at the 230s, back at the 230s, we want to grab these 231s, not coming to us. So we probably, if you guys don't want to wait, Thursday, I mean, right after the earnings, we saw the 231, and I didn't load. I mean, at 232, excuse me, I sold the 232s, and now trying to push so hard about this 236 on Boeing. Let's wait. I'll wait for this week, see if we can get it below the 230s or the 232. I'll be gladly and happily taking that trade for my Boeing. Okay, for my Boeing. Baba still, look, I have my order right there, my alert to go below 228 again, or the 230. This morning they printed the 230, but not below it. My order is 229 right there. I want to be waiting for. Not a bad move this morning out of Baba. If you grab that 230, kudos to you guys. I've been talking about, I want to grab it right below the 230s, somewhere around the 229. But if you went with it this morning out of the 230s, we've been talking about now for a week. You already collected about $6 on that trade, or $5. Start ringing the register on that trade if you took that trade on Baba. Baidu, on the other hand, I am long already Baidu. Remember, 212, I'm long, I believe. What am I long? A third of my position. Yeah, look, I am long Baidu, losing about $1.50 now on that trade. Not a lot. Be looking for these guys to push these $200, right? What I want them is to come back, and I probably should have taken this trade this morning. I saw it at 208. Just $1. Let's see if we can get it back at 208, and I'm gonna start adding to my trade. This is going to be a very nice move out of, if technology drops below the 208. I mean, if Baidu drops below the 208 because of technology, I'm probably gonna get the hell out. But this moves by the 220s. This is a nice move, guys. I want to collect those $14 on my trade. On about 100 shares that we can put on, that's about $1,400 on Baidu. So I'll be looking for that. Coinbase, let's go back, talk a little about Coinbase. Those of you who were trading Coinbase on Friday, what did I say, guys? Those 290s start looking very good. The low 290s, low 292s. Look at where you are now. $10 again, $10. Every single time we trade, we are collecting those $10 on Coinbase. So if you got that trade, nice. I'll be waiting for my 292 once again on my other account. Place my order, let it go for $10. Very nice trade. Facebook, let's talk Facebook a little bit. The 330s this morning, again, being rejected, right? This is the third time. And now 330s, lower highs every single time, right? Just like a small ladder. Let's see if we can go back to that 310, or even, I mean, if we come back to the 310 where we were, or even the 300, that would be nice. NQs, guys, holding the for dear life on 13,810. Barely holding. Okay. FNGU, I do have a trade on FNGU, a small. 31's looking good here. I'm gonna add, let me add 100 shares. Ah, man, they are going, hold on. 3109, can I get it? I'll place an order here to buy 30, 86, 3086. Oh, I'm gonna cancel this. I don't want this. No stops. No stop because this is barely a fifth of my position. I'm trying to accumulate about 1,000 shares. I'm going slowly because I'm seeing these dumbasses dumping tech today. So I'll go slow from 32. Every dollar move I'm adding so far. Okay, my average, I want my average to be about 30 bucks eventually, 29 bucks on FNGU. Look at the bigger picture on FNGU, guys. Look at the bigger picture, right? When we dropped back in February, you guys recall how we were loading those 26s, right? You guys recall the 26s? And my average was 2750, I believe, 28. And we took that 2750 to the 35 level. Now we're coming down from these 35, 37s, okay, down to the 30s. I want to load them up right here on the 2750 to take me back to the 3750. That is about $10 move on 1,000 shares. That is the move that you want to be looking for FNGU. TQQ, on the other hand, when I trade my TQQs, I trade them daily, right? These, I will trade them daily. Unfortunately, the ones that I had on the 100 mark, those I already got rid of it. And now I've been trading this 10 to 05 level that we have, this range. So start looking to add. If we drop below the 105, then probably we're going to hit this 99 level again on the TQQs. So for me to be trading the TQQs now is more like a day trade, in and out, collect $1, 1.5%, or 1.7% on your money. Today they are down about 1%. Early morning, I mean, the thing just roll over from the 109s because of these NQs rolling over. Okay. So guys, it is noon. Nothing to do. Let me go back to the ES before I close the power hour. My order, the only two live orders we did was those 92 to the 90, 75, and that fat finger that I did. Currently printing 91.25 for the E-mini, holding that 86. Really surprising how we hold this 86 volume point of control from overnight. Let me go back to the market profile. Okay. So what do we have in the market profile? My God, we are back at the point of control. I mean, geez, Aloo. And you know what's happening now? We are trying to be inside this initial balance, but we're having such a hard time. So the longer we do not move past this halfback, you guys saw the halfback coming into place around 93. I think that the greater are the odds that we will revisit this 85. So I'll be taking trades here on these 92s, 93s, short, really tight, no more than 2 points of a stop for me to capture these 10 points down to 85, or 8 or 9 points back to 85. So matter of fact, they're just printing 91 again. And because it's lunchtime, you know, you are trading on your own. I wouldn't take any trades during the lunchtime. Let them come back after lunch. Once they are back, you can go back with them. If you have your book map, follow the book map. Look where we are. 88 is a potential stop, then 85, and eventually those 82s. We have not conducted business at 85, but we do have the poor low on this E-mini. So that needs to get repaired. Okay? So guys, that's what I have for you guys. Before I leave, one more thing. Let's go look at the oil trading, printing 6420s. I believe they repaired completely those single. Actually, they did not. They did not complete it. They did not repair all of those singles. We still have tiny bit down to 64 even. We stopped right at 6404, and we still have all the way to 63.98 on oil. We're bouncing back a little bit, like I told you. Out of that 64, there was a good potential they were going to bounce. They bounced a little bit back to the 64.30s. Eventually, I would like to see them back, a good move back up to these 64.50s. If they can get above these 64.50s, man, then that'll be nice. And that's where the volume point of control is for today. We conducted some nice volume right here on the 64.50 for oil. Man, I'll be really tempted to start shorting here if I see any fatigue on oil to take me down all the way to the 64 bucks. That's about $500 on one lot, $1,000 if we trade two lots on that trade. But it's looking pretty nice. And if you look at the book map, these guys have not moved at all. We're still seeing them sitting and waiting for this demand right at the 63.60 and at the 63 even on oil. So nice move that they are trying to push back up to the 64.60s. Like I said, the 65 number that you see here, that 65 and 64.80s is the confluence for Thursday high on our oil trade. Okay, it's been over an hour, guys. Thank you so much. I will go back now to Discord and start sharing my screen on Discord. For those of you who came over, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Don't forget, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Give it a big thumbs up to those videos. If you have any questions, come over to Discord. Join us at eslive8.chat. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow morning. For now, peace out. Have a great rest of the week. Great trading day. Be happy.